Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use Snapchat if you're new to Snapchat or if it's been a while since you used it. Snapchat has been around for over a decade. It started back in 2011 as kind of a camera filtering app, but it's evolved to be so much more. And it's designed to be a mobile app for Android phones and for iPhones. So if you have one of those, you could actually look in the Google Play Store to find Snapchat or the App Store here and find Snapchat there, and then go ahead and download it. I'm gonna show you with a brand new account here on my Android. And just to simplify it, really Snapchat is like three different apps, okay? It's a camera app and a filtering app, super powerful filtering and camera app. It's also a messaging app, like a text message app, but it's also a really powerful social media platform. So I'll kind of walk you through it in that order because it will make the most sense as you use it in that order. So on the home page here, I'm gonna go ahead and sign up. I do have another account here and I'll kind of talk back and forth between these two devices, and I'll press continue here and give it access to make calls. Type in here your first and last name. And just like most social media apps, you have to be at least 12 here to use this app. So put in your birth date, and then it will create a username for you, but you could actually change this username. So go ahead and put in a username that you want rather than the one it created for you. And then you need to set yourself a 8-digit password, 8-character password here. So type in a password that you'll remember. And to verify your account, you could use a mobile number or you could use an email here. I typically use on my regular accounts a phone number to sign up. Now for the messaging and the social media part, you could find friends here from your contacts or number of ways to connect. I'm gonna skip that for now. I'll show you an option that lets you do this later. And then again, because it's a camera app, it needs access to record photos and videos and detect screenshots. I'll explain that later too. Let me go ahead and turn that on while using the app and allow. And record audio, yes, I wanna record audio. And by default, it's gonna show the front-facing camera, but I'm gonna flip this for now. That's the flipping the camera. So it's actually showing what's in front of me, but that's the option if you wanna flip to the front-facing or the back-facing camera. So let's go through Snapchat as a camera app where you could apply really cool filters first before we send it to anyone, because you could just save these for yourself and text message them, for example. Let me show you how it works. So as a camera app, you could either take a picture. So that's the picture icon right here. It just took a picture. This is called a snap. And Snap actually tries to use your location too for a bunch of other things that I'll mention later. So I'm not gonna allow it right now. So it's just took a picture for that first time. Now, every time you take a snap like this, you could decorate it. There is a ton of ways to decorate it. So you could type out text, for example, like this, and then press the check mark and put the text anywhere you want on Snapchat. And it has a bunch of options for more interesting fonts, colors, and you have this option up here for alignment. So that's the text option. Then you have this option for kind of drawing things. You could do this with different colors as well. Let me undo that and go back. You could actually use this option for stickers. These are called stickers. So you could go ahead and tap one of these and put these somewhere as you decorate this picture here. You could actually use the cut tool. This will outline objects with your finger. So you could do that to cut things out. I'm not gonna do that here. You could add music. So this is good, especially when you have video. I'll show you video in a second. You could add links to things. So this is gonna be using things that you type up here as a link that you could send people to. I'm not gonna do that here. Let's go back. And then you have a little timer here. Now with the timer, basically what's happening is if you set it to no limit, people could save this Snapchat without a time limit. If you change the time, this is how long the snap will last till it disappears. So if you want something really quick, you could save that to 3 seconds. I'm gonna explain this more when I talk about the messaging part. But basically, when you send a picture or a video or a snap, that will disappear automatically when this is set to 3 seconds, for example. Someone will tap it, they'll view it in 3 seconds, it will be permanently deleted from their account and from your account. So that's what this is. I'll show you more when we get to the social and messaging aspects. But again, back to the camera app, those are all your options for decorating a single picture. Then the options you have is saving. This will save it to your phone, iPhone or Android. You have story, that's the social aspect of it that I'll explain in a bit. And you could send it, that's if you send it like a text message to someone else using this app. Okay, let me discard this because I wanna also show you that you could take videos here too. So by tapping, you take a photo, but by pressing and holding, what you're doing is you're taking a video. And as soon as you let go, you have a little video here. Now you have all the same options I showed you before with video. Music comes in really handy now, because when you have a video playing, you could add a song here and then press the check mark, and the song is gonna play when you send this video to someone. But you also have all the same options as you did before. Nothing changes as far as that goes. I'm gonna discard this as well. Then you have a third option, which you could actually access what's on your camera here, and then you could bring things from there. And he also accesses what's called memories. Memories are personal collections of what you saved in Snapchat. So I'll show you how to save things a little bit later, but you could also not take it from there. You could bring it from your camera roll, or you could go ahead and create a snap from here, and then you'll come back to this page. Let me jump into my iPhone here, and I want to show you how the filtering works. So when you have the front-facing camera, so make sure on top here you switch over to the front-facing camera so you can see yourself. If you press and hold on someone's face like this, it could be you, it could be someone else. You have these really cool filters, these interactive filters here that scan you and do these kind of cool effects. And you could go to different ones on the bottom, and there are a ton of different ones that you could choose from. And they do change them all the time. They have new updates to these type of filters all the time. So if you, let me select one here. So some of them says try with a friend, so you could bring a friend next to you here. And if you like something, you just tap in the middle, just like you would with taking a picture, and he just took a picture and he brought us back to this page where you, again, you could decorate on the right side. And here, let me show you, I'll save this one, the down arrow here, press that, and it's saved now, okay? Now you could also press the plus sign and add it to your story. Story is the social aspect that I'll explain in a second. And then you could send it again as a message, we'll do in a second as well. And you also now have a crop option that I don't think I showed you before, but you could crop images here. So you could kind of frame them a little better like this and press the check mark. And now this is your new framing. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and discard this one as well, abandon, and you're back to this page where you could choose other filters. And what you could also do with filters, you could press and hold and it will record a video with sound. So everything I'm saying is being recorded. As soon as I let go, this is showing you the playback of the video. Again, I have all the options on the right side, and on the bottom I could mute it, or I could go ahead and save it too. Okay, let's jump back into the new account here. That covers everything about the camera that you need to know. But let's take a look at the bottom. There's a bunch more things besides the camera. By default, you always, when you open Snapchat, land on the camera and you have all the options I just showed you. But there's an option for chats. So the next part of this tutorial is gonna be the chat option. So if you go to chat, this is sort of like your text messages or your iMessages on your iPhone. You could basically add people from your contacts or from people you've met here, and then it uses Wi-Fi or your data here, to your cell data, to send messages. It won't use your phone number though. It's all happening within the Snapchat app. So let me go ahead and add a person. To add a person, just press the plus sign here, and you have a bunch of ways to share your snap code here, and then they could add you that way. You could find friends, so you could go ahead and find friends. Let me show you what that means. It's gonna pull up people that you potentially have in your contact on your phone if you give it access. And you could find people here. You could type in their name if you have it, their phone number, bunch of ways to do that up here. In this case, I'm gonna go ahead and find my other accounts. So I know my other username is Howfinity, so if I search for it here, it's gonna pull it up. That's me. I could go ahead and add, and then it's gonna send a request to the other phone that someone is trying to add you as a friend. So if I go back to my iPhone here, you see that plus sign with the person icon, it says 1 next to it. If I press that, you could see that I'm trying to send a friend request. Now multiple other people are too, but that's where they're gonna appear. So I could press accept right here on this page. And says I just added that person, and they show up over here now under my messages. Now if I go back to chat, you could see my friend that I just added on the other account is right here, and I could send them a snap by just pressing this. Now as you make more friends, this is gonna fill up here, so everyone's gonna show up just like this. Team Snapchat is actually snaps that you could view directly from Snapchat, so it's kind of useful. They do send you updates and snaps all the time too. So let me show you the messaging part now. So let's go ahead and find our friend here, press snap. It's gonna get access to our camera here, okay? I could go ahead, let's record a video this time, and let go. And again, you could type in everything you want, decorate all you want. When you're ready, you could still save it, but in this case, we're gonna send it as a snap. And let me refresh, and the other person got it as a snap. And if I go to the messaging part over there on this app, if I press it, it's gonna say tap to view right there. I'm gonna tap to view, and it's gonna play this, and this is gonna disappear after a few seconds depending on the setting that I chose when I took that snap. Remember that little timer there? So if it doesn't disappear right away, it's because the timer is set to be longer. If I click away, some of them are going to have replay. So tap to replay, it's gonna let me replay, and then if I click away, it's gone now. Now I can't select it again. But by default, after you play them a couple of times, they're gonna completely disappear. I have no access to this anymore. So when someone is also looking at your snap here, look at this little icon of my profile picture from here showing up. That means I'm on their page here. Let's go ahead and send another snap here. This time, let's just send a text snap here. I'm gonna send a text because you could do that too. It showed up here. Let me take a snapshot of this with my phone here, a screenshot. And if you screenshot, it's gonna say that someone took a screenshot here. I don't know if you could read this. It says SA took a screenshot of the chat. So you can take screenshots of videos and images and things like that, but it will notify the other person that you did that. And I'm gonna go ahead and send a snap back here. Let's take a picture, let's send it, and press OK. And this is what happens when someone sends you one. You could tap it to view it just like that. If you click away, it's gonna let you save it in some cases if you have that option set up, or press replay here, which I could do. Now all that could be also turned off in the settings, which I'll show you at the end. Now again, you do have a bunch of other options too with sending text messages. You could send audio messages to record audio. You could send a bunch of things like these stickers or emojis. You could access your camera here and choose things like this. There's a game here that you could play with other people on Snapchat. And you could also video and audio chat here on top if you select those and start a video or audio call. So that's all as the messaging platform of Snapchat. Again, very much like anything you've used on your phone before for messaging, like iMessage or just text messages. I'll show you also this really useful settings here. So when you're in a message conversation with someone, you could press their profile icon right here and jump into here. And you could see some things like requesting location, sharing location, things like that. You could snap from here, message, calls, and video chat. But I want to show you these three dots up here because they give you a whole different menu here. You could remove a friend here, you could block someone here, you could clear conversation. But more importantly, what I wanted to show you here is you could delete chats by default after viewing, or you could set this in this individual conversation to 24 hours after viewing. Okay, you still have replay, but this one after viewing is going to delete chats by default. But if you want to keep things longer, go ahead and use that. But again, the messaging platform here is really designed for things to disappear after viewing them. So we covered cameras, we covered messages. Let's jump into the social media aspect of Snapchat. How does that work? Well, the biggest update with Snapchat for social media is called Snapchat Stories. Let me show you how that works. Now, if you look on the bottom, right, we did camera and chat. This one is called Stories. It's over here. Jump in here. Now, here under the Stories tab, you basically have two sections. Friends, their story are going to show up here. And Discover is kind of like these little short kind of episodes of shows that people create for this platform. But right now, I want to show you the social aspect, the friends aspect. Let me go ahead and with this other app, I'll actually post to my story. So to post to a story, you just take a snap, decorate it the same way as usual, and then just press this option here instead of send to. So if I press this option, it says add to story. So I could press OK on that. And then if I press this blue option, it's going to add it to my Snapchat story, which appears right on top over here. So now let me refresh this page because there is my story right there on this account because I'm friends with this other account. So I could preview stories like this. And with stories, you could reply with a chat as well. Type in your chat, press send, and then the other account is going to get that message as well when you reply to stories. Now, stories stay for 24 hours on your account and then they disappear. So it's not going to be like Facebook or Instagram where things are always on your account. They're going to actually disappear from here. And I want to show you two other things. There is a location sharing by default. If you give it access, it shares your locations with your friends. Let me show you that because you may want to turn this off. But if you look on the bottom here, right, we covered the main three here, but there is a map option. Let me go there. and it's asking me to give it access to location. So if you enable this, I'm gonna skip for now, it's gonna know exactly where you are on the map. Now I didn't give it access, but it's gonna also know where other people are. You see these other people? These are kind of called public stories. So when people shared their stories, they made it public and you could see them this way and you could jump into them and view them. But it's also gonna show you the location of your friends. So I'm somewhere over here in the US and I could see if I had other friends. These are all the public ones, but if I had friends, it will show me their location like this, which is something you may not want to have. So to turn it off, press your profile icon right here. And on here, by the way, you could create a cool avatar here and change your profile picture and change all kinds of things, verify your phone number. But in my case, I want to actually change the privacy setting, which is the settings gear. And the option is called see my location. If you jump there, it's called ghost mode. If you turn this on, it won't share your location with other people. So I always have this on. Again, it depends on how you want to use the app. A lot of times it is helpful to share your location, especially with family, but you could turn this off here. And if you want to view public stories, when you jump into any city or any state or any country, you'll see it up here where you could tap it and watch a public story over there too. And finally, the last option is called Spotlight, and it came out back in 2020, and it's a way where basically you could share short format vertical videos here. You could become a creator or you could just view them. Let me show you what that looks like. And that option is right here. So we covered everything else except this one. Spotlight are basically things where you swipe up and look at people's posts this way. Okay, so this is called Snapchat Spotlight. Now with each one, you could give it a heart here, right? You could go ahead and press this option here and share that as your own post on your own Snap. Or you could actually press the three dots and you have a bunch of other options as well here to get more information and subscribe, right? This is a whole different platform within Snapchat that is almost like a standalone app, but they did include it inside of Snapchat. And if you've ever used TikTok or Instagram Reel or YouTube Shorts, that format is gonna look familiar to you. But I do have a complete separate video on Snapchat Spotlight, so I'm not gonna go any deeper there. Make sure you jump into settings, set up everything, make sure your account is set up right, make sure you turn on ghost mode if you don't wanna share your location, and add friends from your contact list or your nearby list. And then you could send them snaps, videos, you could use these filters to just save things for yourself. And that's your crash course on using Snapchat. I do have videos just like this on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Every platform basically out there for social media I've covered in depth. So make sure you subscribe and check out the channel if you want to learn about other social media and tech platforms. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.